In the morning of the Holy Saturday, according to the Julian calendar and the varied world of Orthodox Christians, Greeks, Armenians, Copts and others, a prodigy is awaited, which according to an ancient tradition manifests itself right on the stone of the sepulchre, a flame sign of Christ's resurrection. From Jordan to Lebanon, from Palm Sunday to Easter, Holy Week and live streaming to be close to Christians in this time of the coronavirus pandemic. After the meeting organised a few weeks ago by the municipality of Jerusalem, the religious leaders of the Holy City find themselves praying together to ask for the end of the coronavirus pandemic. Jewish Easter and Christian Easter. Brother Frederick Manz of the Studium Biblicum Franciscanum explains the difference between Jewish Pesach and Christian Easter. The Caritas Baby Hospital in Bethlehem has responded to a request from the Palestinian Ministry of Health to provide a coronavirus diagnostic test service and is putting its energy into getting accurate results as quickly as possible. On April the 6th, the Palestinian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities announced the discovery of a prehistoric cemetery dating back to the Bronze Age, about 3700 BC, in the Hindaza region near Bethlehem. Seven days after Easter is celebrated according to the Western calendar, the wait makes everyone's eyes turn again to that closed tomb, even sealed with wax. It is the morning of Holy Saturday according to the Julian calendar and the diversified world of Orthodox Christians, Greeks, Armenians, Copts and others. A prodigy is awaited, which according to an ancient tradition manifests itself right on the stone of the sepulchre, a flame sign of Christ's resurrection. It is the Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem, His Beatitude Theophilus III, who enters the wayside shrine, from which he comes out with a holy fire. In front of him, in a dark church that is gradually illuminated by the light of Easter, there is not the crowd that every year literally flooded the basilica, which is now deprived of faithful because of the anti-coronavirus restrictions. This time, the faithful of the Christian quarter of the Old City have to wait from their homes for the fire, which passes from hand to hand and from street to street.
Easter, even if there is no pilgrims, no people on the streets, we have the same joy inside of our heart, and especially today and tomorrow, we should not think about all that problems in the world.
We are very sad for this situation. We hope next year it will be more, it will come back to its normal. And I hope all the world receives the holy fire from the old city of Jerusalem.
The flame is carried to St. James's Cathedral and the entire surrounding Armenian quarter. The goal remains to have the fire reach all over the world, including through some special planes ready to take off for Russia and Eastern Europe. One of the first cities to welcome it is Bethlehem. The great iron gate that separates it from Jerusalem was reopened more than 45 days after the beginning of the spread of the coronavirus pandemic in the Holy Land. It is the first time that the arrival of the Holy Fire has taken place in this way. Let us hope that next year everything will go back as it used to be. Many people from Bethlehem are here with us waiting for the Holy Light. Even though it is difficult for the whole world, this day remains a special day. On this day we praise God's grace and gifts. While Christ saved the world from its sins with his death and resurrection, we pray that he will save us from this epidemic. We wish you all a happy Easter. Christ is risen. He really is risen. A peculiar Holy Week just ended in Jordan, which is part of the Diocese of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem. In the Hashemite Kingdom, the only country in the world, for about 45 years the celebrations have been unified with the Orthodox. Christmas is celebrating following the Gregorian calendar, while Easter is celebrated following the Julian calendar.
Era una Pasqua strana, particolare, alla quale le nostre famiglie.
It was a strange, special Easter in which our families participated from home. They also had the opportunity to download the celebration booklet directly onto their smartphone. The families then prepared the house to receive this celebration, a table with candles on it, a cross, some incense, an atmosphere of prayer, an atmosphere of church. We thank the Lord that the people were able to participate despite everything. The Lord has made every house a home church.
La gente ha potuto partecipare nonostante tutto. Il Signore ha fatto da ogni casa una chiesa domestica.
È più di un mese che stiamo tutti noi nel mondo, anche in Giordania, lottando.
We've all been fighting the coronavirus for over a month now, even in Jordan. We in Jordan are also under curfew, closed, but we celebrated a united Easter. Everyone prayed from home. Our homes have become churches, a church full of trust, a church full of hope.
E perciò le nostre case sono diventate chiese, e una chiesa piena di fiducia, una chiesa piena di speranza.
An Easter not only behind closed doors because of the coronavirus pandemic, but which has also become essential and simple in the liturgy. Masses celebrated in empty churches that were virtually filled thanks to the broadcast through sites, Facebook pages and televisions.
Nelle case hanno seguito le nostre celebrazioni e durante questa
People
settimana.
have been watching our celebrations in the houses all through Holy Week. I thank God, the mass media and communication sites that have facilitated communion between the priests and the people. We have given these people, closed in their homes, a new hope for the future. We suffer with the whole world. We feel that all men are equal. Let us be brave.
Per il futuro. Noi soffriamo con tutto il mondo, sentiamo che tutti gli uomini siamo uguali. Coraggio.
In Lebanon too, from Harissa to Beirut, the Holy Week celebrations were streamed. After the meeting organised a few weeks ago by the municipality of Jerusalem, the religious leaders of the Holy City found themselves praying together again. At the King David Hotel in the west of Jerusalem, the chief rabbis of Israel arrive, Sephardic Yitzhak Yosef and Ashkenazite David Lau. They are the ones who composed the prayer asking for the end of the coronavirus pandemic.
This tragedy is also an opportunity. This opportunity gives us also a sense of what's really important in life, and for the religious communities it's an important opportunity to come together, to express that faith that we share in the one creator and guide of the world. Very often the Almighty utilizes, if you like, the power of threat and of danger to be able to bring people to do that which is good and necessary, and perhaps this is an example.
Psalm 121 ends the interreligious prayer, although the language in which each one recites it are different, side by side but always keeping a safe distance of 2 meters. The Apostolic Administrator of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem and the Orthodox Patriarch, His Beatitude Theophilus III, the spiritual guide of the Druze Mowafaq Tarif, and the 2 Muslim Imams Gamal el-Umra and Agel al-Atrash. The virus knows no boundaries of politics, races and religions, and has managed to do something very rare, especially here in Jerusalem, to make believers of different faiths, Christian Jews, Muslims and Druze, pray the same prayer together. We hope that we can continue in this direction, not only to fight the virus, but to be more united among ourselves. In a few weeks in Jerusalem, the main feasts of the year were concentrated for all 3 religions: the Jewish Easter, the Christian Easter, the beginning of the month of Ramadan. To unite the faithful of the one God, there was also the commitment to adapt their traditions and liturgies to the restrictions to prevent the contagion.
I don't think I've ever faced a situation like this, and so much of our liturgical life is communal and is meant to be together, and now we had to find ways to be able to connect without being physically close to one another. So we have these applications like WhatsApp and Zoom that has become very active, which are very important. But nevertheless, when we develop certain innovations, very often they tend to control us. And these are some of the dangers of technology that we will have to deal with in the post-pandemic era as to how we educate and guide our communities.
Celebrated by Christians and also by Jews, Easter has a different meaning in the two religions.
Cosa si celebra nella Pasqua ebraica?
What is celebrated in the Jewish Passover is the passage from slavery in Egypt to freedom, the passage from darkness to light and from sadness to joy.
Il passaggio della tristezza alla gioia.
The word Easter comes from the Hebrew Pesach. The most important thing is the sacrifice of the lamb. The blood of this sacrifice is fundamental because once placed on the doorposts of the houses, these will be spared. The angel will pass over. From this, the meaning of the word Pesach, to Passover.
Pesach, passare oltre.
In the Bible, we can find several passages referring to Easter. The Christian celebration is mentioned in the New Testament in Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, while the Jewish celebration is found in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus. This month will be the beginning of months for you. It will be the first month of the year for you. Speak to the whole community of Israel and say, on the 10th day of this month, each of you will procure 1 lamb per family, 1 lamb per house. If the family is too small to consume 1 lamb, they will join their neighbor, the closest one, according to the number of people. Let your lamb be without blemish, male, born in the year. You may choose it from among the sheep or from the goats, and keep it until the 14th day of this month. Then the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall sacrifice it. And when they have taken some of its blood, they shall put him upon the 2 doorposts and upon the pillars of the houses, where they shall eat him. On that night they shall eat its flesh roasted by fire. They shall eat it with bitter herbs and unleavened bread. After the text found in Exodus, the oldest text on Christian Easter is that of the letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5. Christ, our Easter, has been immolated. We celebrate not with yeast, but with the new unleavened ones, which are a symbol of truth and sincerity. We see that the whole Christian tradition has highlighted the fact that Jesus celebrated Easter. In particular, Melito of Sardis in his narration shows that Jesus in his Passover realized all the figures of the Old Testament.
In this pandemic situation, we are here to serve our kids and their families. We are here to provide according to their needs, and even we implemented new rules and new regulations in order really to make sure that we accomplish to the needs whoever is coming to our hospital.
Faced with a pandemic that has hit the whole world, the Caritas Baby Hospital in Bethlehem responded to the request of the Palestinian Ministry of Health to make the diagnostic tests of the coronavirus available in its laboratories, in line with its Christian and service values, as well as the needs of the local community. These tests are conducted in our laboratories under the supervision of the Ministry of Health, which takes samples from possible infected people and also provides us with everything we need to perform the tests. For our part, we provide the test protocols, run the laboratory and provide personnel and equipment. This has been a fruitful collaboration in the context of the strategic relationship between us and the Palestinian Ministry of Health. They knocked on our door and we answered.
كان جدا المنطق احنا كمان ندخل بهاي الشراكه.
خصصنا هذا السنتر عشان تجينا العينات من
We have dedicated this center to the collection of samples taken in Bethlehem, Hebron, and the surrounding area. We order the samples and then extract the genetic material of the virus. Then we put it in a special device to increase its concentration to allow us to better analyze it.
بيطلع هذه المادة الجينية وإحنا بنحطها بجهاز خاص على أساس تكترها ونشوفها مثلا بالجهاز إنه هذا مبين مع الفيروس أو لا.
The Caritas Baby Hospital continues to support the local community, while a specialized laboratory, isolated from the rest of the facility and equipped with tools, kits and a team of dedicated laboratory doctors, helps to get accurate test results as quickly as possible.
We want always to maintain the good quality, and I will say make sure that we counsel them, listening to them in this particular moment. And so our mission is to serve, but in a holistic approach, and especially now with the different eyes, different ears, really to go deeper and deeper and to listen as much as we can.
There are 466 cases established in Palestine to date. Prime Minister Mohammed Stayeh said that some difficulties have arisen in controlling the spread of this epidemic, especially in relation to the problem of the people working outside Palestinian cities. The Caritas Baby Hospital in Bethlehem is not only a medical facility, but also an institution that aims to serve the whole of society, as well as a place that makes the protection of human values one of its primary objectives. On April the 6th, the Palestinian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities announced the discovery of a prehistoric cemetery dating back to the Bronze Age in the Hindadza region near Bethlehem. The discovery of this cemetery is one of the most important in this region. During the Bronze Age, some accessories were buried together with the deceased in the belief that they could be used in the afterlife. The metal that was commonly used at that time was bronze. We can see here some of the daggers and metal weapons that were commonly used in that period. The findings also include a number of jars and large and small bowls. The team of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities has carefully documented all the archaeological materials found in the cemetery, including jars, daggers and bones, which will increase the scientific and historical heritage of this region. Regarding the excavation methods used and the material found, Iman Al-Titi, Director of the Department of Antiquities of the Governorate of Bethlehem, explains, "As archaeologists, we study more than one material, like ceramics, for example. Pottery in the Bronze Age has several particular characteristics related to the components of the mixture or the method of manufacture, or even its origin. According to the data available to us, we can estimate the dating of ceramics. There are materials for which we can also use methods such as carbon-14, which is used to determine the archaeological age of ancient objects." The discovery of this Bronze Age cemetery is an important archaeological discovery which brings to light a very ancient period in the history of the region.